What's happening, y'all? We are back. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Make sure you subscribe here. We are here with part 2 with the CRF250F for these parts that we got installed. Obviously, we have got power. We are back in the big shop today. We're going to go ahead and break everything down for the part 2 and what we have got in store to finish this thing up for now. All right, y'all, for this part 2 coming at you here, we are going to be installing the BBR heavy duty fork springs. Very inexpensive way as far as to stiffen up that front end a little bit. If you guys saw my other clip from one of the rides in Maryland, you will see exactly why I am doing this after just hitting even just a couple little logs that weren't really that big. This thing darn near bottomed out even just on those. So that's what we're going to be doing. We've also got the anchor as far as the fork risers that we are going to be installing. When you get, as far as obviously these, pretty self-explanatory, your 2 fork risers, and then as far as your springs, my understanding for the 250F, we also have a 125, but all you get your springs. That's it. But I am going to go ahead and break this thing down, show you guys how to install them. I am going to be using the stock or the original fork oil, everything that came in there. So I'm not going to be taking the forks off and making, putting a little bit heavier weight in there or anything like that. I'm going to do this just the basic, the simple way for now. If I need it a little bit stiffer, or if I'm not that heavy as it is, so I don't really foresee me needing to run a heavier weight oil in it. But we are going to, we're gonna break this all down for you guys. I'll show you exactly what you need, what needs to come off, how to pop these bad boys in, and then we'll get in after. So let me get some stuff out here and we'll be right back with you. All right, guys, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do for this thing is, number one, get it up in the air. Just at least just taking the pressure off as far as your front forks, because when you take these actual caps off, it is you don't want any surprises. All right, then you're going to want to take this number plate off. That way you can loosen as far as this top half where your forks are. Just that way, as far as just getting this loosened up and all, makes it a heck of a lot easier. So anyway, let's take this front number plate and all off. All that's going to be is just one 10mm bolt right there. All right, guys, so the next thing you want to end up doing after you have your handlebars, number plate, and all that off, you want to go ahead and loosen these up. Do not do your triple clamps first. If you do that, your forks and everything are they're gonna drop straight down. So you want to get your springs and stuff, go ahead and swapped out first, and then once you get your new fork extenders on there, that is when you will loosen up your triple clamps, slide it up to the top of the extender, and then tighten them back down. So we'll go ahead and take these off, and these right here, let's see here, what do I have? This is going to be a 17 for as far as getting these top sections off. So let's go ahead and remove those, and they may be tight. All right, guys, once you get this, get one of the sides off here, what you're gonna have is you're gonna have like a little sleeve sitting down in here, which is essentially like a spacer and all for your spring. So what I do usually just to get these out is I'll take me a set of just real skinny needle nose, pop that bad boy straight on out. Pray I don't drop her. Get it, there we go. All right, and we will set this bad boy aside. After that, there's going to be a washer down in there. Probably can't get a very good sighting of it here, but that is when a little old extendable magnet here works great for pulling that bad boy out. And do not lose this. You will need that. From there, all that's going to be left is going to be that spring. So be careful now when you do take this thing out. I use the magnet again just to reach it. But as far as if you're not changing your oil out, let it hang a little bit and, kind of drip any last little bit of oil and stuff that may be stuck around that spring. Go ahead and get that off, shake it down in there. All right, and just to kind of show you guys the difference as far as these springs. So right here we have got the BBR, and then here is your original that comes in this thing. So essentially that spacer is going to be eliminated. That is not going to go back in here. But anyway, let's pop this bad boy on, and then we will put that washer back on, and we'll guide you step by step. So as you can see, the spring sits right on the very top. Just like I had said, you will not be using that little spacer that they do have. However, you will want to place your washer exactly the way that it came off. Pop that bad boy right back on there. And then from there, all we're gonna do is install these anchor fork risers. Slide them bad boys on. All right guys, before you end up putting these risers on, make sure you take the O-rings off of your original caps there, your fork caps. Just go ahead, slide those bad boys on there. Don't forget. All right, guys. Hey, once you get as far as your the risers on here, you're gonna go ahead, just torque these bad boys down. I did list in that community page. Anybody subscribe, you will be able to see that. But anyway, go ahead and get those things cranked down. I will go ahead and tell you these anchors, they are gonna be, as far as standard, they are 1 1/4 for these bad boys as far as standard. All my bigger sockets are 1 1/4. So we'll get these things tightened down. All right guys, now that you guys have your risers on, next thing you're gonna do is go ahead and loosen up your triple clamp bolts. Just be careful, because since you did put pressure, as far as, or relieve the pressure, that whenever you do loosen these up, just make sure you barely got it off the ground, because you don't want to lose your forks to come all the way through. So let me go ahead and get these things raised up here, situated, and then I'll be right back with you. All right guys, now that we have got the risers all dialed in here. We've got them spaced separately, or excuse me, evenly across. They're sitting just an 1/8 inch up as far as from the bottom. Now we are going to go ahead and tighten back down your triple clamp bolts here. Now just make sure that you again follow the torque specs and all when you guys are tightening these back up. I'm gonna go ahead and crank these down. As soon as we get done with that, I am going to put the handlebars and all back on it, put the number plate on, drop her down, see how she looks. All right, y'all, I'll break it down real quick as far as the tools and stuff that you guys are gonna need. Number one, if you have an extendable magnet, heavy duty magnet to pull the spring and as far as your clip and all out, that is gonna help you out tremendously. You're also going to need your 10 millimeter, maybe an Allen key, depending on what you guys is, if you guys are running oversized bars or risers or anything like that, depending on what they're held on with. Like I said, mine were Allen keys, 5.5. So anyway, you guys will need that. Let's see, I already said your 10 millimeter. You will need a 17 as well. 17 millimeter to, as far as getting your fork caps off. And then, let's see, it was 1 1/4 fit that, as far as the anchor, the risers perfectly. But again, make sure you guys also check out inside the community page here where I dropped all of the torque specs for the bike. Front, rear, engine, doesn't matter. Plastic, even the plastic bolts and stuff like that. I mean, it tells you everything. So check that stuff out. And other than that, that should just about wrap this thing up, let me tell you guys kind of what I'm seeing. All right, guys, there you have it. That is your install there for your BBR heavy duty front fork springs and your anchor as far as your fork risers there from Hyperlite. I do have, if you guys have not seen any of my other videos, I do have the rear BBR spring as well as the Corona linkage, and then the little shock riser, like the adapter and all that they sell. Check that thing out. But anyway, let me run through real quick to help you guys out here as far as the tools you guys are gonna need. If you have an extendable magnet, number one, it's gonna be great. As far as for getting your bars off, if you're running the originals, you know, just 10 millimeter. If you have risers, I mean, it could be a 10 millimeter. I know my risers with my oversized bars, they are 5.5 Allen keys. So you will need those. You will need a 17 millimeter, and then let's see, let me make sure because I don't want to tell you the wrong thing on this. I believe it's 1 1/4. It is 1 1/4 big boy for the anchor fork caps, or I would imagine you could use a crescent wrench or something like that, or adjustable. Anyway, I did it just because of the torque specs, torqued it back down to the specs. Other than that, let's see, needle nose set of pliers as far as for getting the little spacer inside there from your original fork springs. Other than that, that should be it. I will go ahead and say this thing has a heck of a lean to it right now. Like, I don't know if you guys can kind of see it, but she is lean. Let me see if I can give you a better angle here from this other side. Yeah, she's tipped. But I do, and yes, I know, they sell the kickstand adapter. That is actually on the way. I just got an email today because it was out of stock. They just got them back in stock from Hyperlite. So I do have that coming, that it was already ordered as soon as they sent me the email. Anyway, I am gonna have a separate video as far as the ride height differences with my buddy's all bone stock 2023 CRF250F. Same exact bike as this, but he has nothing done to it. So we're gonna put them side by side and let you guys kind of see the difference that they make with these kits. Other than that, I will do also a all-around review. I know a lot of people go for the Tuscany racing and stuff like that. I have not used any of their products. I've heard good things, but again, I was going more for a cost-effective way, I guess, for doing these. I know the front fork springs and stuff are a little bit cheaper as far as BBR goes, just for a cost-effective mod to stiffen it up a little bit. So I will get a whole review and everything out to you guys. We will be in Iron Mountain down in Georgia. We will be there June 10th. So we are just a couple weeks away. So if you guys are in the area, you guys want to head down to the area, let me know. Drop something in the comments. We'll link up with you guys. We'll get some ride footage and stuff like that, and we'll have a good time. But if you guys aren't already, make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment. Let me know what you guys think. I know, like I said, there's multiple ways of doing this. This was my way. So hope it does help some people out. But other than that, we will catch you guys on the next go around.